I decided to leave early in the morning for a game drive through the Pococha Pans and follow the road that would take me to the Taupan. All this part to Tau, which is not close. I don't know the distance. At a game drive speed, which is slow, it took me almost 3 hours, so you can imagine it's not close. All this part here has no water holes. That means that there's not much diversity of species. Only those adapted to the desert, like ostriches, hemsbok, and springbok, and some birds, some jackals are here. It's much better to get closer to a water hole, but there are no water holes around here, so I'm going to Taupan, and then from there I'm going to Passage Valley waterhole. So when you book your campsites here, it's good to check if there are water holes. Otherwise you can drive for almost an hour and see very few animals around. Once you get to the pans, it is open, flat and grass, and then you have more chances to see animals. But obviously the closer you get to the water, the more animals you're going to see. And in Central Kalahari, the only water is at the water holes, and there are not many of them. This is Taupan, coming from the southwest, and there is a road that goes around it. Yeah, the place is beautiful, and if you're here during the rainy season, you would see it all green, which could be amazing, but it also could be a bit treacherous. Driving here is basically being alone. Haven't seen any cars since yesterday in the afternoon, and those cars were the lodge cars, and they were doing game drives for their guests, and I didn't see any other car other than those. So yeah, you have to expect to be alone here most of the time. Of course, if that's what you're looking for and you like to be in a place where there's no one else around, this is perfect. But you have to think that you are on your own. Yeah, this is Central Kalahari. This is one of the reasons for coming here. The chance to enjoy such a large park basically just for yourself. Taupan is one of the most remote and breathtaking landscapes in the Central Kalahari. Named after the Setswana word for lion, this vast open pan is a prime location for spotting the legendary black maned lions of the Kalahari, as well as cheetahs, hemsboks, springboks, and the elusive brown hyena.
Okay.
Taupan is alive with golden grasses after the rains, attracting large herds of animals. Even during the dry season, the pan remains an oasis for predators and prey, making it one of the best wildlife viewing areas in the Central Kalahari. That is Tau Camp. It's the only lodge there is around this area. Yeah, this is the water hole. It's not exactly in camp, so you can drive here. It's one of the few places with water. Didn't know at that time, but the water hole is inside the camp concession, so a guide came and respectfully asked me to leave. Also told me that the lions were here right before I arrived, so no, I didn't see them. They are gone, and I missed them, so bad timing. This is the northern side of Taupan. Very nice views from here. Many springboks here, many. There are hundreds, and such an open plain. This is totally a place for cheetahs. Baby hemsbok. Look at that one. Not easy to see a giraffe sitting. Nothing wrong. She was just chilling. When I come to parks like this one, like the Central Kalahari Game Reserve, or other parks like Kalahari or Kalahari, all those parks are either desert or semi-desert. It's a good idea not to just drive around all over the place trying to find the animals because the animals are always near the water holes. And maybe you're driving from water hole to water hole, which is the next one is 80 kilometers away, and you will see nothing. So I decided to stay here the rest of the afternoon. I opened the tent and I got to a reasonable distance to the water hole, not too close for the animals to be scared to come to drink. And I'm enjoying the animals coming from the comfort of the tent in a different way. He didn't have a better place to do that. He has to do it on the water. Then he and other animals are drinking. Yep, finished. Raining in the Kalahari. Spectacular, huh? I spent the night at Passage campsite number 3, which is not far from the waterhole. And at first light, I came to the waterhole to try to see something interesting, but not lucky. Just some jackals and springboks, but not much more. Although there's water in the waterhole, this area doesn't seem to have many animals around. To the right, the road to Motopi and Southgate. Motopi is around 40 kilometers from here, and Southgate probably about the same from there. Southgate is the northwestern gate, and from there you can get to Gansi, which is the nearest town. To the left, it's the road to Deception Valley that goes through Passage Valley. It's a loop to the north instead of taking the cut line that, as we saw, is sandy, narrow, and with overgrown grass. So I'm going to take the route through Passage Valley, and there's no water until you get to Sunday Pan, but I think the landscape is worth it. When you come to Central Kalahari Game Reserve, you want to be in a remote place, and you want to be in a place where there's no one around and where you can look at the horizon and you will see nothing else. You will not see people, you will not see vehicles. When I was at Pocoje campsite number 3. Pocoje number 2 was like 25 kilometers away. And Pocoje number 1 doesn't exist anymore. It was located at Taupan, and Taupan from Pocoje, if you drive at slow speed, that's almost 3 hours. So you can imagine how far apart all those campsites are. When you get to Deception Valley, the campsites are not that far apart from each other. They are closer, but still you don't have people next to you. This is one of the things that you have to think about when you book a campsite here. Don't think that if you're taking campsite number 1, camp number 2 is going to be right there. You're going to be listening to them because there's no one around for tens of kilometers, 30, 40 kilometers, and if you go to Bypass Pan, you will not see anything all the way until you get there. In fact, I didn't see anyone yesterday all day, only the lodges, cars doing game drives around the lodge, around Taupan, but there was like 5 kilometers from the lodge. The rest of the day I didn't see anyone else. So I haven't seen any other self-driving car in probably like 36 to 40 hours, and I don't think I'm going to see anyone around here until I get to Deception Valley. So probably it's 2 full days seeing nobody. So that'll give you an idea of how isolated these places. Sometimes nature is surprising. There are fresh tracks of lions on top of my wheel tracks coming from the campsite where I spent the night. That means that while I was away at Passage Waterhole, there were lions on this road. Again, this road that goes through Passage Valley, so you can see the grass is overgrown. That is a clear sign that a few vehicles take it, because this part is so remote. But now, with the seat net in front of the radiator, I feel much more comfortable. This road looks a lot like the cut line that I took yesterday on the other direction. It is narrow, a bit sandy. Those are the thorns scratching the truck side. You have to be very careful here because this is full of thorns and so close to the road that it's impossible to avoid them. Driving here during the dry season, not that difficult, but if you're driving on deep sand roads like those on the southern part of the reserve, have in mind that the hotter it gets, the softer the sand gets. If you have to cross those roads, it's better for you to do it early in the morning or late in the afternoon. Around noon, the sand gets very soft and it's very easy for you to get stuck, and I learned that the hard way. Was in the southern part of the reserve for a whole day. So have that in mind. Driving on dry season, it's not that difficult, but the sand here is really deep. Passage Valley is a string of pans connected by a narrow road, another pan, another stretch of narrow road. But after the rains last night, the road is hard packed and it's a lot easier to drive. Although the Kalahari is called a desert, it's not actually a desert. It's more like a semi-desert, because you can see there's a lot of vegetation here. There's a lot of grass, bushes, trees. You have to go to some certain places in the Kalahari to really feel the desert, but not here. At some other places, not many, maybe a couple of them, the roads are rarely used and the grass is very tall, and you have to be careful because it could burn your car. There are several burnt out cars in the reserve, just as a reminder that that can happen. This during the rainy season probably is impassable. Now there is a deep rut, not complicated, but you can imagine how this looks during the rainy season. All the Hemsborg are together here. Many of them. All the giraffes are here together too. So it looks like the species get together at some point, because here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are many springboks there too, like when I was in Taupan. Many. Yeah, this place is also very nice. Hello, good morning. How are you? Now that was the first car I see in almost 2 days. I have left Passage Valley and the road is now heading south. It's going to take me to Leopard Pan. There are some areas where you can see hemsbok, springbok and giraffes, but right now it's been a while since I saw the last animals. Hopefully when I get to Leopard Pan and later when I get to Sunday Pan with its waterhole, I will be luckier there. This is the arrival to Leopard Pan. The road is a bit dull for its narrowness and the lack of animals, and because you have to watch carefully where you're driving because there is a lot of trees and branches and thorns. This is the middle of Leopard Pan. Has all the pans here covered in grass. Beautiful. Sorry guys. Hemsbok, springbok and one wildebeest. A baby hemsbok, really small. Sorry. Yeah, this hemsbok is really small. This is Sunday Pan. I'm going to the waterhole and stay there and try my luck. However, I talked to one of the two cars that I saw today. They said they stayed here 3 days and it was very slow. They didn't see much. I spent all the afternoon near the waterhole, but unfortunately the water level was low and the water was brackish, kinda smelly, and very few animals came to drink, so I decided to call it the day and go to camp. Sunday Pan number 4, it's next to number 3, so this side of the reserve, the campsites are next to each other, unlike on the other side of the reserve where campsites are secluded and far from each other. This is campsite Sunday number 3. As you can see, it looks good, it's clean, same type of ablutions, not far from the waterhole. It's a good option. I can't believe people leaving their garbage behind. I can't believe this. Come on guys, take the garbage with you. It's not only disrespectful for the next person, but it also attracts all kind of animals to camp and it can be dangerous.